This conference will now be recorded.
This is our final meeting in a series of meetings. We planned 8, and it was bringing all of these presentations to you. As you would have seen, we had wonderful presenters, and most of them turned out very, very well. I should say all of them turned out very, very well. And Steve, I'm going to give you the privilege of doing the Lord's Prayer.
Thank you very much. The Lord's Prayer. Where lands meet, be present, Lord, to weld our hearts in one accord. To do thy will, Lord, to make us strong, aid the weak and right the wrong. Amen.
Thank you, Lance Steve. And Lance Steve this evening is going to be presenting on how to use the MyLion. And Steve has lots and lots of experience in this area. Now, Steve, I hand over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lance Paulette. Good evening, Lance and Leos. A pleasant Sunday afternoon to you all. Welcome to our session on Welcome to our session on how to use the MyLion as well as the MyLCI to the fullest. Now, as you know, with the advent of technology and everything, Lions International is bringing us together to a unified platform, which they call the MyLion. This brings together messaging, email, project planning, project reporting. That's about everything that will be the heart of our work in Lion is under one application, the MyLion app. Now, one of the first things you have to do is to be registered, to be signed on. Now, your previous MyLCI access for president, secretary, and treasurers would have been reset, and you should be able to apply, should be able to go on by it then. But now, if not, you can do a new registration. It's quite simple. If you've already registered on a smartphone device with the MyLion, the same registration will work on the desktop version that I'll be showing you. For those who need to register, you'll see the section on the right that says register, and you click on the button that says register. It will prompt you, let's get this out of the way, to create an account. Now, very importantly, there are a few basic information you need to have on hand when you are going to register. Once you click the button that says register, it will bring up this screen to ask you if you're already registered on the app of your smartphone. If you say yes, it will go ahead and accept the same registration. If you say no, it will then require you to have the following: your member ID, your date of birth, a current email address that you have access to, or mobile phone number, a password, and there are some privacy policy questions that you need to answer in going down. Your member ID, if you're not sure of it offhand, it's printed on your magazines that are posted to you. It's on the address label, or your club secretary will have a listing of your club officers, which will have the member ID. It's a good number to know and have at all times on hand. So the screen will ask to enter everything. Start with your member ID, your date of birth, and there's one issue that your date of birth currently on record at Lions International may have an error. It would have had everybody's birthday as the first of the month that you're actually born and the year you're born. The day was reset to 01. So if you're born the 15th of July, it is saying 1st of July and the year. So if your what the date you know is supposed to be doesn't work, try using the 1st of the month. After you get on, you can have your club secretary correct that record, or once you are in yourself, you can correct the date of birth. And your email address, make sure it's an address that you have access to, and give yourself a password. Once you enter that basic information, everything is okay. It will send a verification email with a code in it to the email address that you put in the screen before. and then you go and enter the code. Once you enter the code and it's accepted, then you would have been successfully registered. To sign on again, you just need to either use your phone number or your email address to sign on whenever you use the MyLion app. Once you're signed in, you'll get to a welcome screen of our digital ecosystem. It lists all the current applications that we have available on Lions International, the MyLCI, the MyLion, the shop, Insight, and the Lions Learning Center. Now, based on your access, you may or may not have access to some of these, primarily the MyLCI. Only some club officers have access to the MyLCI. Everyone will have access to MyLion. Of course, everyone has access to do online shopping. Insight is available as well. And the Lions Learning Center is a tool for everyone to go and learn more about Lionism. Okay. So once you sign on, it will take you to the home page of the MyLCI. And it shows that you, up the bar at the top, you can actually turn back to the previous menu, which will be that menu. And MyLCI has been there before, nothing new where that part is concerned. MyLion screen, if you click on the MyLion option, it gives you a running statistics initially of your club. You have the option to look at your district as well as Lions International, all the numbers, but the initial number you'll come up will be for your particular club. The club supply stores, you can go onto it and you will be able to do shopping for all club supplies, awards, and things. However, some of these items can only be ordered by the club secretary. Others can be ordered by any registered member. On the Insights tab, it will show you some statistics of your club, service activity, donations, and hours of service participated by your members in a running timeline covering at least 3 years. So you'll see it both for your area, your geographical area and international, the membership, service activity, donations, and your club work. So who have permissions to the reporting? This is a view of the new standard organizational chart. And the officers that will have permission are those in the red boxes. Your president, your secretary, your treasurer, and the service chairperson will have access to the reports. In addition to those, the club administrator, the Leo club president, the Leo club secretary, and the Leo advisor will have access to the Leo section of the report. The Leos will have their own separate sign-on and to the LCI. Some more of the functionalities. Your MyLCI homepage, which has been a page we've been using for a while on the previous reporting thing. It has 6 windows of things that are relevant to you. The first box is the My Task box. It shows pending tasks for you based on your assigning privilege of what you have for the current month. So if you're a secretary, you have certain tasks. You have treasurer, you have your own unique tasks. President has his own tasks as well. The next box gives information on your club, the meeting date and time, the meeting address, and also your club website. It's always good to check back on this to make sure it's current with what your club is doing. You don't want people visiting Jamaica or anywhere and looking for a Lions Club to meet and say, oh, our club is meeting tonight, and go there to find out the club used to meet there 10 years ago. So you need to ensure that it's always current, or the venue is current as well. The next box shows your contact information, gives your position, the club you're on, your corresponding address, and your email address. Always ensure these are up to date. And then we go down to their My Members section. Gives a summary of your club's membership numbers, regular members, affiliate, at large, honorary, associate. It gives a breakdown. It also gives a checkbox to show which months the secretary have submitted the monthly membership report, the MMR report, which is the online report. So it's, once a tick is there, it means that month was submitted on time. And that's emphasized on. Question? A blank will mean one of two things, that the report was not submitted on time or not submitted at all. The other box below shows your service activities. This has now been transferred over to the MyLion section. And the last box lists your club officers at the district level, district governor, CAB secretary, treasurer, and any other cabinet positions that you need to know, and their contact address will be there for you. As you know, the MyLCI is developed in 11 languages, and you can choose any other language at the top too if you wish to have it read it in a different language. And also for those members who are multi-positions, if you have a club position, a district position, and even multiple district position, you're able to sign in with your different titles at the top, which gives you different access. Your default is always the lowest position that you have. So your club position would be the default at all times. You just click on the pull down arrow and you can choose if you want to look at your district position, which is what access you have, or your multiple district position. All right, there's a support center there on the MyLCI, which will give you access to a training area. So as incoming officers, you can actually go there and get a feel of various reports. The treasurers can look at what the reports are. The secretary, the presidents can have a feel. You will not do any damage to your live data. It's a training database. At the bottom, there's a link for the directory on the international database. It's usually restricted to members signing in. So once you're logged in, you'll have access to look at for any club or any member worldwide. Other item on the tab is the MyLion Club, which focuses on your particular club and gives you options on such as members, if you want a new club application, if you're planning to form a new club. It gives your club information, you list your club officers, the statements for your club at international. And as you know, international no longer sends out the invoices, so the treasurers need to come here to get their invoices. You can look at your service activities, that's where you enter them, or your signature activities, reports and data downloads. You can do dumps of your membership records from there. Importantly also is your membership cards. Previous years, international used to send out cards just around this time, blank cards for you to fill in your members who are in good standing and give it to them as a what it says card. You know, come to this option to download the cards yourself and print it on any cardstock paper, certificate paper you can just cut to fit. On the members option, in the library, you're able to look at all your current members. You can add members here. This is where you come as secretary to add a new member, or to reinstate, or to do the transfer process for a member. And it's also the same screen that you will report your membership report. If there's no change to your members or anything, you go and you select no change for the month, and you select and it will accept it. Nothing changed, meaning that you have not added any member or done any change to any member. Bear in mind that you only have the ability to look at 3 months in this section: the current month, 1 month behind, and 1 month ahead. So anything beyond that time, you will not be able to do. You can edit a member's information here, such as their address, their phone numbers, and date of birth if it's incorrect. This is where you come and make the edit. Also, here's where you do the process to drop a member from your roster. And if you have members willing to take up the family unit, where more than one family members reside at the same address, you add them here under family unit. Once you make your change your membership and you submit it, it brings you up to a confirmation. Once you confirm, then that's will continue for you. After that, no change to it. You can look up members using various quick searches, such as active members, and if you have any student members, who are your drop members over a period of time, which members were added over a period of time, or your associates. You can do searches on those and just bring up those short lists for you. It also has an advanced search as well, where you can search. Let's say you want all the members who are between 70 and 80 years old, you can put in the date of birth and you just bring up those members. Or Lions who have joined within the last 10 years, you can put in the join date, or who have dropped within a certain time, and just return those information in the search. The next tab with your club information is just where you put in your website address if you have one, as well as your meeting locations where you make changes to it. You remember that this meeting information will be shown on the MyLion, so people looking for a club nearby, it actually checks it. And for countries that fall within the Google Map system, it can give them a drive and map to the venue as well. The officers page, this is where you go and add your club officers. You have 2 types of officers. You have a standard officer type and you have your local custom. So in a position that's not on the list of custom, for example, 3rd vice president, you'll have to add it as an other type, as a local custom. You select the term, whether it's the current year you want to deal with, or next year, which is starting July 1. But if you want to look back at past years, it will also bring back that information for you. And like I said, your officer types, whether Lions Club officers or local titles. You can add other officer types to it if you wish. If an officer demits office before the end of their period, or they may resign in a year, you will come to the section to end the officer term for that time, and then you can assign a new officer after that. You can't have 2 officers in the same position in the same term. One has to be terminated first. And any change you make, it asks for a confirmation to continue. The statements. This page is accessed by most persons, president, secretary, treasurer. It gives a running statement of all your month's transactions with international, all your payments, and what your current balance is. However, option to make a payment can only be done by the treasurer. No other member or officer is able to make a payment on behalf of a club. Payments can be made using a credit card or a PayPal account. For those members who are a bit scared of using credit card, PayPal is a pretty much safer cushion to work with. It's an interface between the transaction and your credit card. So once you select to make a payment, you indicate what type you're going to pay by. If you're going to pay the full amount or a different amount, and choose pay. You enter the card information, and the payment is updated overnight. So for the following day, it will be reflected on the system. And you can print the detailed statements if you want, or if you just want to keep a soft copy for your own records. And you can view the invoices which are sent on the 28th of December and the 28th of June. One for the 20th of June will be one for the start of the new year, 1st of July. And the one for the 20th of December is for the second seminar that starts in January. Which is very important because if you have dropped members or you have changes to your membership, you need to ensure that your records are up to date before the 28th of December or 20th of June. If not, you're going to be billed for those still on the system. And there are various reports options that you can use. Your attendance reports, your reporting history report, your club roster, your attendance sheets. You can go in and print your attendance sheets and carry it to you for meetings to mark up who's attending meeting, to name a few. Other reports such as the membership data gives a full listing of your members, your birth year, and it gives you a count of how many years they're in the institution, your occupation, everything. So it's a good listing to work from for your members. Data download is good for those who want to capture their members' information. It creates a CSV file, a text file, which you can import into your address book. So you automatically have these members in your address book for your contacts. There are several fields, have some basic ones, and you can just select the ones you want and download the file. And your district club gives information of your district officers and your contact information, as well as the clubs, individual clubs in your district as well. And this is where you go if you want to add a new club. If your club is going to charter another club, a branch club, a school club, a Lions club really, this is where you go and get the application process started. So we go on to the MyLion functionalities. So once you log onto that section, you will be able to plan and discover service events, meetings, and fundraisers. So therefore, the MyLion is basically reducing the stress and work of the secretary and getting other members of the club involved. So all your committee chairmen should be now, after you identify your dates, you can actually put dates way ahead for your events. You know that menu cooking manual will be May 21. You can just plug in the date from now. Mona is having a bingo sometime soon. You put in there. Whichever club is an event, you can just plan your dates for the entire year once you have it identified and agreed by the club. These dates initially will be kept to view by you or your committee alone before being made known to the general public. So you create everything you want ahead of time. It's your planning tool. It's your, whether we use Outlook for plan our days, you can use it straight in the MyLion. It's done easily. You select on the tab, you have the home page, a new activity to report an activity. So you go on a new activity to add a new activity. And it takes you another screen to say what type of activity it will be. It could be a service activity, a fundraiser, or a meeting. Let's say we want to do a service activity. It brings up the current standard service programs from International, which is hunger, environment, childhood cancer, diabetes, vision, and others. And currently, a lot of clubs have been doing a lot of things in the other section based on what we've always been doing traditionally. So you will select a cause. And let's say we selected hunger, for example. It gives you another sub-selection of what would be possible under that thing. You have food collection, drive, meal preparation, distribution, community gardens and agriculture, hunger awareness education, and there's also other hunger activities. So we basically will try and cover everything that we can do under hunger. So you select a project type and then you continue. and then you get into the details of the project. And you remember we're saying the presentation by Land Dave, that we need to know the who, what, when, where, and why. So you'll still need to have that information for every activity that you're planning. So the who is your clubs, that's already. What will be the name of the activity? So give it a name. You can put a short, you can indicate whether it's a signature activity of your club or not. The venue of the activity, if it has a name, a place like a school or hospital or a church, and you type in the address. Now, seeing that we are in the Google Map region, once you type in an address, a map of the actual location will be shown below in the project. So like I said, you will use the section now to share about your project, and you'll also be able to upload images as you go along for the project. There's a privacy section as to who can see this, whether everyone, the club, or you alone. So initially, if you're just setting dates tentatively, to be just you alone as a chairman. Then once the club agree to it and doing the planning stage to the club, and if it's ready for everyone to know, you can go back and change to everyone. On the right, it also gives you some help or more information based on each of the signature type projects, and you can actually get more prompts and help with those projects. Now you can invite people to your projects. You can invite other clubs, you can invite individuals, and once you select on them, it will appear on the list of invitees. So you can actually type in the email address of someone. Let's say you want to invite the zone chairman and the region chairman to the project. You can just type their email address and they'll get an email inviting them to the project. It's a good tool as well to get your officers involved. Or the district chairperson for that area that you're doing. If you're in a hunger project and you want to get the chairman aware of it, put their name in there as an individual. They'll be alerted to the project. If they're available to come and can come, they'll reply and attend the project. So once you enter that basic information, it gives you a summary to review it. The name of the project, the date, the time, the address, who you have invited, and the location. And once you agree to it, you click submit, and then that project is saved, and information will be sent out instantly to all who needs to know. So once you have done that, you'll have your activities now listed there. These will now reflect here on the desktop app as well as on the smartphone devices. They're in two categories. You have unreported activities and reported activities. So the important thing to know that the process of changing that thing from an unreported activity to reported can only be done by the club secretary. And the secretary will ensure that everything else has already been updated on the project, then they can report it. Then it goes down on the reported section. You can also go here and create a past activity. So if you had forgotten to set up a project at the time, you can just go create a past activity and enter all the information. This, however, can only be done by the secretary. So club secretaries need to ensure that their members are on the ball and adding their activities in the MyLion app. So you have less work to you as secretary. So when the secretary is going to complete the project or activity, you'll do the report activity section. It's time to do what we call the celebrate and share of that project. You want to know the number of volunteers that took part in the project, the lands who volunteered, the LEOs, other lands, other non-members who volunteered for that particular project. So you put the numbers of members who participated. And the other section now is the number of hours that each person participated in that project. I must point out now, which is perhaps news to some people, that with regards to fundraising event, you should include planning hours, the hours that the planning committee took to execute that event. So all the meetings that they held, the 4 lands met each week or every other week for 2 hours. You work out those hours. So those hours goes towards the event. It's not just the hours of the actual fundraising event, but all the planning that leads up to the event should now be included. I think we have been underreporting our hours as members. So as the example says, the committee consists of 2 lands and 2 layers. They met for a total of 8 hours. And then each spent 12 hours fundraising. So it's 32 hours of planning plus 48 hours of fundraising. That's 80 hours you report the project as. And for the service hours, each volunteer, you put the actual hours they spend on the project. So if you had a diabetic screening thing from 9 till 1 and 7 lands and 3 layers and 2 nurses from the local clinic came, it will be 12 volunteers times 4 hours, which was 48 hours. The lower section of the report activity is the outcome. You should share how the activity will improve your community. This is an explanation of how your service activity will continue to improve the livelihood of people. And it's no restriction in space. You can write a full story there about it. And Lions International will be pulling this information when getting stories for the Lions magazine. So make it as descriptive as best as you can. There's no restriction on the space. You can just type to describe the project. So once you've entered all information, you will confirm it. But before you confirm, there's another thing to explain about the service. There are 2 types of service activity. You have direct and indirect. So for direct service, Lions and layers who plan and implement a service project, those are the ones that counted for the direct service. And indirect service now are those Lions who did not interact directly with it, but they made contributions or things towards our project. So that's the indirect service. And it's 2 boxes here to indicate the number of persons, but direct and indirect. So once you've done everything on the reporting side and you see the map there, you will now submit. And then you have a submitted, completed activity. And so for the month, each month, you know, do all your projects that way. You can set up your committee meetings as a meeting, your fundraising events, all your service activities. And we need to get all the committee chairmen involved in how to use it as best as possible, because there's no other method of getting these information out. This will now be the only tool that we will have as Lions and layers to let the district administration, Lions International, other Lions around the world know what we're doing as Lions. I hope I've not lost anyone in the mood, in the thing. Any questions? Does anyone need a clarification on? Okay.
Lance Steve, hold it. Lance Steve,
Yes, go ahead.
tell me, once I get in, what sort of access do I have in terms of other clubs? Or I'm only restricted to my club alone?
You can see in the matrix, you can see what other clubs are doing in the matrix section.
But not personal information of other clubs?
No.
Okay.
You'll see members, and as a member, you on the app you can decide if you really want to share your information or not.
Yeah. Okay.
If you want other members to see you on the remember, it's now a messaging tool as well, so you can see all the members there.
Yeah.
If you want to be seen or not seen, those are options on it.
Okay. Thank you.
Lion Steve, good evening.
Evening.
Okay, I listen. There is a section that speaks to unreported and reported projects, right?
Yeah.
Who are the persons within the club who can do the reporting there?
Only the reporting is the process of completing the event, and that can only be done by the secretary.
But you mentioned something about the unreported. So
right. So everybody who creates an activity, so all the committee chairmen, even the president want to create a meeting, the fundraising chair, once they create an activity, it's categorized as unreported. So you'll see everything there, all the upcoming events will be there as unreported. So once an event has now taken place, and you've been the committee chairman who have added the information, who served and everything, the fundraising event, how much funds was raised, you as the secretary will now review it, see that you have pictures uploaded, and then you will complete it. Once it's completed, it will now be shown under reported activity in the lower section of the screen.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And also bear in mind that any activity that was not set up by the committee chairman and it has passed, like you realize you had done a dental clinic last month, but nobody remembered to report it. Only the secretary can add such a past event by clicking on the create activity button, past activity. So to keep your work minimized, secretary needs to be on the ball to ensure that your members have created on the site. So presidents, and vice presidents who are supervising the committee chairman, whenever projects are being planned, one of the first questions you need to ask them, did you create it on the MyLion app? Get everybody to start reading it, looking at it that way. Check that it's on it. And you can go on it yourself and see if it's there on the unreported activities.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. In terms of pictures, to make life easier for those of you with smartphones, once you have the MyLion on the phone and you take pictures with it, it will format the picture to the size and density that it needs to be uploaded, which makes that easier. When you use a camera and you bring it to your laptop and you try to upload it, something may be too large or the pixel ratio is too high, and you have to resize the pictures. So the easiest way is to just walk with your phone, just take the picture with it, and you can upload at the same time. Are there any other questions on the MyLion? It's quite simple to use. Just get all your members on it. There's a messaging section. You can also send out messages and reminders to them. Just get everybody in the habit of using it, checking it regular.
If there are no further questions, we want to thank Lion Steve for this wonderful presentation. And I'm sure that Steve will make himself available, because I think for the persons who are interacting with this for the first time, they might find it a little intimidating. So I'm sure he'll make himself available in case there are any other questions to be asked.
It's not a problem.
Okay, I'm going to hand over to Lion Judy for her to conclude and wrap up this session and go into her other session.
Thanks, Lion Paulette.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Lion Steve. Lion's session is just to show our appreciation to the trainers who participated over the entire incoming officer school. And we are hoping that they have been able to join us at this time. And we will ask Lion Steve if he could please project for us the last email that I sent to him.
Yes, getting it ready for him.
In the meantime, we have now come to the end of 6 consecutive days of training for incoming officers in Region 1 and Region 4 for the 2020-2021 administration. It is our hope that Lions found the sessions helpful as they look to July 1 to take up their respective positions. The leadership team, that is Dr. Paulette McGregor and myself, we were able to assemble a dynamic group of trainers. And we would like to say a big thank you to each one. Lion Paulette, are you ready to share in this responsibility with me? Let us go day by day. Everything has to be done virtually now because we are not meeting in person. So, although these certificates are virtually presented, there is no less meaning to it than if you should get something in your hand. So the first presentation goes to, no, that's not the one for now, Lion Steve. Right, that's the one we need. First certificate is to Lion Elaine McMaster, PMJF. Her training was on Tuesday the 26th, and she covered 2 topics, LCIF coordinators and club directors. We want to thank Lion Peaches for the way that her presentation went. It felt as if we were in fact having a conversation about LCIF and not so much of a class. So we want to thank you for your style and for the information you shared.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lion Peaches. Next, Lion Day. Lion Paulette, would you take this, please?
Yes, and we want to thank Lion Carla Parchment, MDF, for her participation in the work of Treasury. She worked along very, very well, and her explanations were quite explicit and made it easy for those coming in as treasurer to understand fully. And I'm sure she will make herself available if there are any other questions. Thank you so very much, and congratulations. Thank you for participating.
Next.
And then we had Claudette Burke also participated in doing the presentation on treasurer. And we thank you very much. And of course, next time round, we will look into you again for this assistant. Thank you so much. And of course, like Catherine Peart, PMJF, the guru in this area. Like Kathy, we appreciate you are very, very plain, very explicit. And of course, you came to us to this training session with a wealth of knowledge, which we all appreciate. We can't thank you. Thank you so much. We have a past zone chairman, Lion Juliet, who was the treasurer of the year at one stage, and she was zone chairman of the year at another stage. A lot of information, very calm, collective lady, and delivered very, very well. Thank you so much.
So on day 3, we had a team with 2 stalwarts, Lion June McCarthy and Lion Isaac McCullough. And as you know, they have years of experience in this thing. And we teamed with them a new lion, relatively speaking, Lion Dorothy from the Lions Club of St. Catherine Central. Let me say, Lion Dorothy held her own. You could see that she had some teaching background because she was able to keep in step with these 2 stalwarts. So we want to thank that team of Lion Dorothy Anderson, Lion Isaac McCullough, and Lion June McCarthy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And of course, we had Scarlett and his team talking to us on PR communication and membership directors. Of course, Landy and his team come to us or came to us with a lot of information, lots of background, and lots to share. And we were much better off for these presentations. We also had Ann Winston Ferron as well, who played this part, and Lion Jackie Foster, MJ. We thank you all three very, very much. You added value to these series of presentations. We are so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you too.
You're
So now
welcome.
we have to thank Lion Steve. How do we begin? Lion Steve single-handedly did the treasurers, and then we worked him hard again. Sorry, the secretaries, sorry. And then we worked him hard again today with the MyLion app.
Yeah. And as usual, he gives his technical support in a lot of the
yes, and throughout the thing, we depended on him for that. We want to thank Lion Steve. Lion Steve, we know we can call on you at any time and even at the last minute to help us in anything that we need to do, especially when it's Lionism. These certificates, when we realized that time was of an essence and we needed to show our appreciation in what we still consider a tangible way, just called Lion Steve and asked him to do the certificates. And so this is all he's doing, and we want to thank you for your tremendous support. Please accept from the team. Thank you, Lion Steve.
You're welcome.
Of course, Lion Wendy Coley Haynes, committee chairs, incoming officers, school, online. I mean, what can I say? Lion Wendy went through these presentations as if to say, well, she's the guru of committee chairs. And she knows exactly what is expected of the committee chairs, and she shared. All the committee chairs who participated in this online presentation from the feedback that we received. Grateful and know that they will go forth doing a better job. Thank you so much, Lion Wendy.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay. And this morning we were really treated, well, I should say it was a treat.
Yes.
The presentation on tamers and tail twisters. We had at the helm Lion Camille. And we all know Lion Camille's style. It's one of effervescence. She's always bubbling.
Indeed.
And she had as her assistants 2 new presenters, Lion Sonia Harding and Lion Evan Collins, both from the Lions Club of North St. Catherine. They must be commended. They stepped up to the plate. They stepped in line with Lion Camille. And I am sure Lion Camille will agree with me when I say that they were an asset to that presentation. It went very well.
Most definitely, Lion, most definitely.
And we know we can use them again next time.
Oh, sure.
Definitely.
Uh-oh. This one is going to be hard to deal with, Lion Paulette. Will you give me my certificate?
You can imagine, yes. With humility, I present you the certificate, Lion Judy. You have been a great partner during this period, and we started this project wondering if we should do Region 1 separately from Region 4. And when we looked at it and we looked at the COVID situation, we decided that we should go into partnership. And it was a great partnership, Lion Judy. And it was also an even better partnership work we do this morning on the presentation of presidents and vice presidents, along with the other guru, Lion Lindell.
Lion Lindell. And so we present, both of us present to Lion Lindell.
Yes.
He was the thorn among 2 roses.
Can you imagine?
Lion Lindell has a style, you know. He has a wealth of knowledge, but he never comes across as if he knows it all.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was very effective. Effective in what he had to do and just giving us the support for the 3 of us to work together. Thank you, Lion Lindell.
Indeed.
So, Lion Paulette, I'm going to repeat everything you said about me. I will just say ditto. Lion Paulette and I started working together, and out of that, I'm brave enough to say we have developed a friendship. Lion Paulette, thank you for your support throughout the whole planning of this thing, and for your delivery today. Excellent work.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And then we have the final one.
Oh, no, we did those already. We had one at the end. No?
I have this one to do.
Now, this one I have to say something special about. We are presenting Lion Io with her certificate, although she has not yet presented. Because of bad weather yesterday, we have to reschedule. The time set for this, for Leo Advisors, is Saturday, the 6th of June, beginning at 12 noon. Please spread the word and be present in large numbers. It's a good presentation.
And we need to say a special thanks to Lion Wendy. Without her, all this would not have been possible. She has worked with us from day one, right up until right now. And we appreciate it. I'm sure you have something to add, Lion.
Yes, Lion Paulette, we do have something to add. This is the troublemaker, Lion June McCarthy. Oh, thank you, Lion Steve. And presenters who are here, I'm sure you hear what we were called, a dynamic group of presenters. What a bossy name. Appreciation for presentations have been done. We get bossy certificate. Do you see how bossy they are? And I'm telling you, I can just recall when Lion Judy, or maybe it was Lion Paulette, who came to you, called you up and asked you to be a presenter on this virtual school. You must have said, well, I know I said to Lion Judy, you must be crazy. Virtual? I don't even know how sometimes to turn on the computer, much more to go and talk. Right? But here we are at the end. We have come to the end, and we have been appreciated, and we have been told how much we have done, how well we have done, and it is just great. So, this dynamic group of presenters, we have got to say thank you to our facilitators, our 3 facilitators, Lions Judy King, Dr. Paulette McGregor, and we could never, ever leave out Lion Wendy Labari, right? And so we want to say thank you for your hard work, you 3 Lions, and your dedication. This made our first online officers school a successful event. We wish you all the best. Whatever is your desire, Lion Dr. Paulette, we hear of your big position next year. We wish you all the best. And Lion Wendy, and of course, Lion Judy. I am going to have to hide under the bed so that I don't get all the crosses. But Lions, Judy, Paulette, and Wendy, thanks again. Thank you very much.
Welcome. I really enjoyed this project, and hope that even if COVID allows us, this is something that we can consider doing from time to time. It certainly will make it much easier.
Okay. Yes. That is so true. I agree. So, Lions, it's good night. Thanks for attending school. And remember, Saturday at noon, Leo Advisors. Okay? Bye-bye, everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations again, guys. Congratulations. Thank you so much. I did enjoy it.
Enjoyed everything.
You're very welcome.